Ladies and gentlemen, it is peak week. It's Sunday night, but I'm counting it. This is going to be the last workout that's actually a workout in terms of full intensity, full volume, because starting tomorrow it's going to be brought back a lot. Today, a little bit higher carbs. I'll be going even lower the next few days just to really draw back, make sure my body is sensitive to more carbs, and then you know how it goes. If you know how peak week is, towards the end, I'll be having more carbs, so hopefully I fill out. Let's go get it done.
So off I went to the gym, ready for the exhaustion of pushing myself on low calories to be over. And what makes things a bit worse is that there's actually something a part of my diet that induces certain cravings.
You know, over the course of prep, I've had a lot of different cravings, but I've lately been having the Rise Frosted Lemonade pre-workout, and it's honestly just made me crave Frosted Lemonades from Chick-fil-A, so I know where I'm going this weekend for sure. And hey, you know, it kind of helps hold me over too, just a little bit, just because it's actually like surprisingly similar to what a Frosted Lemonade actually tastes like, so that's pretty cool.
So like I said, today is arms, and ever since last July when I joined forces with my coach, I've kind of changed my philosophy on training and volume. And honestly, it's about time, because I've been training consistently for over 6 years, and you know, if you were to consider the years in high school and middle school doing athletics, it would be, you know, a lot more. But the point is, I'm an advanced lifter now, and I found for myself that I do respond really well to higher volume training. And that's exactly what I've been doing for many months now at this point, and it was what I was doing over the entirety of prep. Higher volume training, making sure not to take any set too easy. You know, I am a huge believer in going all out, and if not all out, like RP9 on basically every single set. And really just the way I counteract that in terms of fatigue is just to take a deload whenever I feel like it, which honestly it usually ends up being about 3 months. And so that's exactly what this was, just a day to add more volume to the arms, more stimulus. That way I can see some more tricep and bicep growth. Let me tell you, those high rep tricep extensions, that's where my mental discipline really grows. It's basically the equivalent of the leg extension, but for the upper body. It can just get super painful, and that's what really decides like who wants to actually grow. It's the people who are willing to push through the literal agony it can be. Now don't get me wrong, I love working out and pursuing a better body, but after doing this kind of training for what's been quite a while now, and then I look back on some footage like this, I can't help but think that it sure does take a whole lot of work to just be mid. Ultimately, this just goes to show how lighting can make you look 30% bigger, or of course smaller. So try not to judge yourself too harshly based off a clip with some horrible lighting. But overall, the day ended right where I needed it to be. A sizable deficit, a respectable amount of protein, and a moderate carb intake. And I knew that in a way, it was the calm before the storm with what peak week was about to demand of my nutrition.
You know what is absolutely insane to me? I've been eating cream of rice for almost a year now, and for a long time I ate it by itself and it was disgusting because it was plain. But then I ate it by itself. It was by Elevate, and actually pretty good that way because it was actually flavored. But even with the flavored version, I have been eating it the absolutely inferior way the entire time. I've learned that this is so much better. It's the cream of rice with the protein on top. It's like I put 35 grams of the protein powder in a little cup. I put a little bit of water, I kind of eyeball it to where it's like a sauce. I just pour it on top and it actually tastes like pretty busting that way. And then I combine it with rice cakes. Rice cakes by themselves, especially because I have the flavored version. You know, pretty good, but I feel like combining these two together, like, it would have made my prep a lot easier, I'll tell you that much. But I'm glad I'm finding it now, and at least I can implement it in the future, right? So you're welcome for hooking you up.
Alright, so it is Tuesday. That's how I woke up looking this morning. Pretty dry. I had... How many calories was yesterday? I'm tired, I can't think. Yesterday was about 2250 with a moderate amount of carbs, about 200, but that's still actually a little bit lower than normal. So I might start looking flat the next few days, especially today and tomorrow are gonna be pretty rough. Being even lower carbs, gonna be about 150. I woke up at 172 pounds, the lowest since definitely high school. It's probably gonna be like 2020 time frame, so I'm looking good, man. I mean, it just really just depends on the lighting. Sometimes I look hella chopped. I'm like, bro, how the heck am I a few days from being on stage, you know? But whatever, gotta trust the process. I have to shave my legs too. That was weird, man. I don't recommend doing that. That was, yeah, I mean, I'm not done either because there was like got hair everywhere. Okay, so today is actually about 180 carbs, not 150, so not as bad. But if you compare that to my carb fill out days later this week,
over 400. That's still less than half, so it's pretty bad. There's a lot of new things in the schedule today. I had to go in earlier to work. Fortunately, this had to land on the 2 days where I'm actually like really low carbs. It'll be worth it though when I arrive on the stage and I look pretty crispy. And you know I'm looking forward to those refeed days, especially Thursday night. I'm gonna have a dinner. I probably eat some pretty good stuff. Gotta be careful though, gotta be very careful. I shouldn't be eating out because the macros you see online are actually just really rough estimations. I mean, unless they weigh it, but most places aren't gonna weigh it, you know? So, the mundane task that every bodybuilder and really just every gym person in general struggles with a lot because of how much sweat we put into our clothes. Laundry.
Yep, who would have guessed? Laundry. As someone who goes to the gym 6 days a week during prep with a solid half hour on the stairs every time, I certainly go through my fair share of gym attire. But I mean, hey, bodybuilding is a large part mental discipline and getting tougher mentally. And especially with my small rotation of gym shorts, that means I'm putting my desires aside on a pretty frequent basis and instead sweating my ass off in this room because for some reason, my laundry room feels like a solid 15 degrees warmer than any other area of my house. But it's either this or being a musty chud by wearing my sweaty gym shorts, so I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Another way I sweat and burn calories though is not by doing stairs or laundry, but by doing something much more enjoyable.
You know, as someone who likes to play the drums, it means my cardio comes more conveniently sometimes than just doing Stairmaster. Cardio doesn't have to just be walking. It can be many different things, one of which is playing the drums just because of how much activity it requires with your limbs. Sometimes cardio is just about getting creative, and if you have something like that for yourself that takes energy to do but isn't like a traditional form of cardio, then I say do it and do it often, especially if you love it, because that's just a super easy way to burn calories and make the whole process a lot easier on yourself.
Later that night, you guessed it, I worked out. I got a pretty good pump and sweated a fair amount, which allowed me to get a pretty nice physique clip. And especially during peak week, what more can you ask for? The next day, I woke up as I usually do. I feel pretty good, I'm looking pretty dry, and that's exactly what you want at this stage of peak week, but ultimately this is a high very short-lived, because not long from now you'll see me in my natural habitat, 2 to 4 hours after waking up, lying on the futon, feeling dead inside, yearning for mental reprieve of any kind, dreaming of my heart's most fond desire at that very moment. Cran Grape Ghost energy drinks. And I realize, wait a minute, I can have this right now. What am I doing? But finally, it's with me in my hands. And you know what this calls for?
Some Terraria.
That's right. I'm a proud embracer of my 1 month Terraria phase. Of course, you can't forget about Minecraft either. But at least that's twice the length of the normal 2-week phase loser. Am I right? In fact, I make it even better by putting 80 calories of popcorn earlier in the day so I can enjoy it at the same time. As someone prepping for a bodybuilding show, you learn to truly appreciate such things. I do, however, put most of my calories towards the end of the day, in part so that I can have some banger workouts.
Alright guys, we have made it to the final session of prep. Man, it's been a long ways. I put in a lot of work to this point, so I'm gonna really just try my best to enjoy it. Just a light pump today. I mean, still pushing myself, but significantly reduced volume and basically no cardio. I'm gonna head into AR and let's have a good workout, shall we? And enjoy being this lean while it lasts.
So this is it, the culmination of 14 weeks of discipline and consistency. While I could have been better, I've ultimately got to be proud of what I've accomplished in my physique. After all, 14 weeks ago, I was a bit of a chunky boy. The next day, however, was the beginning of a long-awaited higher carb day in efforts to fill out more, and you best believe I enjoyed it and milked it for everything it's worth. Rice cakes galore, rice cake bags, cream of rice with protein powder. Obviously, it's nothing new or groundbreaking, but just the amount of it that I was not just allowed to, but supposed to have was so rewarding mentally. I could feel my muscles swelling up as I ate, and I couldn't help but think, wow, this is a lot of volume of food for not a ton of calories. I guess bodybuilders got a point when it comes to eating low-calorie dense foods. But at the end of the day, this led to a very happy stomach, a clear mind, and I was ready to face the excitement of heading to Oklahoma in the morning.
Alright, here we are, Friday night, the night before. I have about 20 minutes to really down as much water as I can because I'm supposed to stop drinking, except for sips, of course, every once in a while at about 8 p.m. And I'm freezing cold right now too because this tan, I can't really sweat at all, and so they actually recommended I keep it at like 63 here, and at 65 I'm freezing my butt off. I don't think going down another couple of degrees will be necessary. Definitely won't be doing that. I've been eating a bunch of carbs since I got to the hotel room here. Being on this prep has made me appreciate foods that I would have never appreciated before. You know, rice cakes. I would have thought that's extremely boring, but now I get very excited about my rice cakes, especially when it has almond butter and even honey on it, and even, I don't know, cinnamon sugar or something on it, you know? Feeling good, living the life with my carbs. It's like at the beginning of this process, I was nervous, but then over the months as I trained and certainly as I practiced my posing, I kind of just turned more excitement for it. And then like on the drive over here today, I was more nervous, but I don't know, now it's the night before, I'm in the hotel room, I have nothing to do but make sure I consume what I'm supposed to be consuming and take it easy, not do anything crazy. Kind of chill. You know, I feel good, I feel confident, and I'm kind of just excited to see what happens tomorrow. This is so weird, actually being tan. Like, I've been super white my entire life, but I don't know. I think for now on, I gotta like do some sort of tan. You know what I'm saying? Being white ain't the move when you're trying to have some good muscle definition. So obviously I wouldn't be straight up orange like this, just everyday life. At least a more orange tint than my natural skin would be nice. I burn pretty easy too, so I'd rather not like try and tan myself. But yeah, that was it for peak week. Like I said, I'm gonna take it easy, do what I'm supposed to be doing tonight, and really just try and lock in and stay tuned for what happens on show day tomorrow. I'm excited.